Coming up on Vegas Nation Game Day, it's the Raiders' first preseason game since 2019, and it will be played in front of fans. Speaking of fans, some members of the Silver and Black were treated to a sneak peek of the stadium recently. All of that and so much more coming up on Vegas Nation Game Day.
Vegas Nation Game Day, presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Welcome into Vegas Nation Game Day, your Saturday edition for all things Raiders. We are just hours away from the Silver and Black's first ever preseason game inside Allegiant Stadium as they gear up to host the Seattle Seahawks tonight. I'm your host, Cassie Soto. Let's kick things off with our opening drive, sponsored by Capriotti's. There's no better time than game time to score party favorites. Order online to get Capriotti's party trays, box lunches, or large subs for the whole crew. Let's go ahead and bring in Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignor. Vinny, it has been 2 years since the Raiders last played a preseason game. Why are these tune-ups so important?
Well, anytime you get on the field against another team in a game-like situation, obviously the preseason, it's important, and especially for a bunch of young players on this Raiders roster, whether you're talking about the rookie class from 2021, last year's rookie class, some of whom didn't get on the field too much, and also defensively, so many new faces, a new system, a new coaching staff. You brought in some free agents, some draft picks, some young players that need to get better. Getting that defense on the field to play another team, hearing a different cadence, different looks. You know, they've been practicing all this time, these last couple of weeks, against their own players, their own scheme. To be able to now face another team that changes things up is always going to be beneficial.
Well, speaking of practice, Vinny, Raiders head coach Jon Gruden gave his guys a surprise day off on Wednesday. Can you tell us more about that and the reason behind it?
Yeah, a couple of reasons. Number one, he wanted to give them a reward for all the hard work that they've put out. But in addition to that, it's taxing working in this kind of heat here in Las Vegas, and they monitor all of that. And there were some players, as Jon Gruden talked about on Thursday, who didn't have a lot left in the tank, a lot of gas left in the tank, and not just players, but coaches as well. So they're trying to do a good job of monitoring what the heat here and the conditions here, what kind of effect it has on players. But it was a multi-layered day. A, giving guys a reward for the work that they put in, but B, also monitoring where guys are physically right now, working in this intense heat.
A final one for you, Vinny. This defense has put in a lot of work this offseason and these last few weeks at training camp. How do you see them matching up against Seattle?
Well, they're not going to do a whole lot in terms of what they're going to show in the regular season, for obvious reasons. But I think the physicality, the tackling, the toughness, some of these young players who, yes, it's physical when they put the pads on here in Henderson, working against their own players, but nobody wants to hurt their teammate. So there's definitely a line that you don't cross. And I think that for this defense, that physicality aspect of it, especially in the secondary and at linebacker, is going to be interesting to watch.
Thank you so much, Vinny. Appreciate it.
Fast Takes, sponsored by Pirate Plumbing, the masters of disasters. I'm Heidi Fang, and I'm joined here with our Review Journal sports columnist Ed Graney, and we're going to take a look at what we think are the key factors for the Raiders as they face the Seattle Seahawks for their preseason home opener. Ed, is there any player that you're particularly going to be zoned in on watching to see how they perform in the preseason?
One person defensively for sure, Heidi, that's Trayvon Merrick, the rookie safety, the free safety. Gus Bradley is giving him a huge opportunity to be a free safety in his cover 3 scheme. He's going to have a lot of responsibilities. The kid from TCU who played a lot of cover 2 in college at TCU. Now he's going to have to switch to cover 3. They need better defensive players. That's why they drafted this kid, and he's going to get the first opportunity to be the free safety on this team. So I don't know how much he's going to play because he's listed as a starter, but I'm really excited to see Trayvon Merrick on Saturday.
With so many guys trying to make this team, who are you focused on as far as a position battle and seeing how that plays out?
It's interesting. You go back to the secondary. Jonathan Abram is going to make the team, but can he hold on to that starting spot? Really interesting guy to me. I know he's a first-round pick last year, but it's Damon Arnett. Now, I know he was hurt all year, but the 9 games he played, Heidi, and the 7 starts, I know he's hurt, but he didn't look good at all. That's why they brought in Casey Hayward as a free agent to play that spot opposite of Trayvon Mullen. I think Damon Arnett's on the team, but I don't know how much he's going to play if he can't prove himself in this preseason. So there's some position battles. That's where the most interest is going to be for me to watch during these preseason games.
That'll do it for us. Now back to you, team.
With a new season upon us and no new numbers to draw from yet, let's take a look at some of last year's key numbers, beginning with the offense. The Raiders were 10th in the NFL in scoring last season, averaging 27.1 points per game. That is the most since the 2002 campaign when they finished second in the NFL, 28.1 points per game. They also converted nearly 46% of their third downs to rank 6th among the league's 32 teams. And they averaged 383.3 yards to rank 8th. Quarterback Derek Carr had perhaps the best season of his career, throwing for 4,103 yards, 27 touchdowns, and posting a career-high passer rating of 101.4. Tight end Darren Waller set a franchise record with 107 catches en route to 1,196 yards. Now, this year's offense will look a little different with 3 new starters on an offensive line that yielded pressures on 19.6% of dropbacks. That mark was good enough for 9th in the NFL. But with Carr, Waller, and 1,000-yard running back Josh Jacobs back in the fold, this group has the potential makings of another top 10 unit should it gel the way last year's did. I'm Sam Gordon, and that's the story by the numbers.
If you're on the go and need to find out anything about the Raiders, get the Vegas Nation app. Download it today and get all the content you need from team news, videos, podcasts, articles, and more. Find all the Raiders news you need with the Vegas Nation app. Vegas Nation, your home for fast takes and smart coverage.
Vegas Nation Injury Brief, sponsored by Not the Injury Law.
I think he's going to be okay. We're being very careful with him. He's working out very hard.
That was Raiders head coach John Gruden giving us an update on his star tight end Darren Waller. For more on the Raiders injury report, we're joined now by Las Vegas Review-Journal NFL reporter Adam Hill. Adam, Darren Waller has not practiced since August 2nd. Should Raiders fans at home be concerned?
I'm going to say no. And listen, I know why people are concerned. If we don't see somebody on the field for a week and there's no information, people start to panic and freak out. I'm going to say don't do that just yet. Listen, Darren Waller doesn't need the reps. We've heard John Gruden say that. He could step on the field and be one of the best tight ends in the entire league. Him and Derek Carr have a great chemistry. They don't need that many reps to get ready for the season. He wouldn't be playing in these games anyway. So his absence has given other guys a chance to step up, build a rapport with Derek Carr. Now, of course, you want Darren Waller back on the field as soon as possible. We don't know exactly what is wrong with him, but I'll tell you this. We've seen him working out in the weight room. We've seen him jogging on the field with trainers. We've seen him going through some workouts on the far field at practice. And we saw him take the field with no seem to be no discomfort during that scrimmage game or the practice over at Allegiant Stadium. So we've seen him plenty. There doesn't seem to be anything drastically wrong with him. So I feel like they're just kind of taking their time, being cautious, and Darren Waller will be back out there. But listen, I understand that Raider Nation is freaking out about this. I would just say slow down a little bit.
All right, Adam, well, moving on here and sticking with the offense, Raiders backup quarterback Marcus Mariota was missing from practice on Thursday. Can you give us the latest there?
Yeah, at the end of that practice over at Allegiant Stadium that we were just referencing, he hurt his leg on a touchdown run. He scrambled, definitely came up a little bit limp on it, but got through practice on Tuesday just fine, except that he made a couple of big mistakes, a couple of interceptions that he threw. John Gruden said today, we look back, it seemed like the injury that he suffered, it was minor, but it seemed like it was impacting his throwing. That's what kind of led to those mistakes, those turnovers. We haven't seen a whole lot of those out of Marcus Mariota at camp, so they decided to rest him a little bit. They expect him to be back in just a couple of days. So not a whole lot of long-term injury concerns on the Raiders, but plenty of guys getting banged up, as happens in training camp.
All right, Adam. Well, thank you so much for the latest in the Raiders injury report. Appreciate it.
Vegas Nation Fan Zone, sponsored by your Southern Nevada Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
We got the Vegas Nation Toyota truck here at Allegiant Stadium. Season ticket holders are heading inside to watch the silver and black on the field, full pads, live reps for the very first time. What's it going to be like to see your Raiders on the field at Allegiant Stadium for the very first time?
It's going to be extremely exciting. This is the very first time I've ever seen them live, so
In person on that field, Trey?
In person here or even in Oakland. I've never seen the Raiders before, and I'm a longtime fan.
Magic, pure magic. The Raiders left Oakland when I was 10 years old, and when they moved back to Oakland, I had moved to Vegas a year before. So this would be my first time being able to attend a Raiders game.
It's a beautiful stadium. They did a great job. It's going to be an awesome addition to Las Vegas.
We're so excited to be here, to actually be in person, to watch things.
Fans are clearly loving the opportunity to finally get inside Allegiant Stadium, and if you're hoping to get a last-minute ticket to watch the Raiders in action today, you're going to have to dish out some big bucks, as the Raiders preseason game versus Seattle is the most expensive preseason resale ticket ever. Sports business reporter Mick Akers has more.
It's going to be what's called the most expensive preseason game ever on the secondary market by TickPick. It's going to be about $267 to get in. That's the average sale price right now. So, obviously there's some immense interest for fans and, Raiders fans and Seahawks fans alike to get inside the stadium this weekend. It's tracking higher than half of the regular season NFL Week 1 games. So obviously preseason games, people say, hey, don't matter. Well, obviously this one matters to some people. First look at Allegiant Stadium inside. Just get out there and have some fun, but, you have to empty out the pocketbook to do so.
Thanks so much for watching Vegas Nation Game Day. If you need more Raiders coverage, be sure to tune in to the Vegas Nation Facebook page or vegasnation.com at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. We will be going live from Allegiant Stadium. For Vegas Nation, I'm Cassie Soto. We'll see you soon.
Vegas Nation Game Day, presented by DNR House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.